The quorum, and so I hereby call this public meeting for your Committee on Commerce and Tourism to order. The agenda for today's meeting was issued on, should I start again? Okay. The agenda for today's meeting was issued on December 9, and copies are provided online and in the House chamber for the viewing public. If there are no objections, can I get a motion to adopt today's agenda? Okay. There's a motion to adopt today's agenda. It has been seconded. Discussion on the motion? Okay. Those in favor of adopting today's agenda, please say aye. Those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Today's agenda has been adopted. Before we proceed, I'd like to announce some housekeeping rules and introduce our members, the staff of the Legislative Bureau who are joining us today. Please silence your phones and abide by your COVID-19 guidelines by wearing your masks and being mindful of your distance. We do have hand sanitizers available in the gallery. I'd like to introduce the members of your Committee on Commerce and Tourism. Representative Vicente Kamatsu from Precinct 3, Representative Richard Lizama from Precinct 5, and our newest member, Representative Corina Magofnia from Precinct 3. I'd like to recognize the staff of our Legislative Bureau here with us today, the Legal Counsel, Mr. Brendan Lade, the Legal Assistant assigned to your committee, Ms. Clarissa Sablon, who will also be keeping time during this meeting, the Sergeant at Arms, who's our Sergeant at Arms, who will be coming in soon, the IT Manager, Mr. Jonathan Diaz. We are live on cable and streaming live on Facebook at the CNMI Legislature's page. Please be advised that even if we are on recess, our FB Live will continue streaming. Okay, next on the agenda, public comments. I'd like to open the floor now for public comments, and I would like to ask if you could please keep it at 3 minutes. Go ahead, Mr. Hawk. Go ahead, Mr. Hawk.
Good morning, honorable lawmakers and my friends. I'm here with a petition, it's the third time for amendment for public law number 2137 and especially SB 2257. We, the petitioners, U.S. citizens and CNMI voters, believe it is our constitutional right to submit this petition. Many thanks for your service and hard work for people. Public law number 2137 had serious defects that are hurting people. We are thankful for SB 2257, but it still has two problems. We 12 citizens and more petitioned for helpful legislation on non-profit, but In the SB 2257, there is a penalty 25 into 75. Why is it 3 times? And no change on for-profit commercial businesses. They are making a big profit. We cannot accept this kind of situation. $75 must be removed. Commercial companies can easily recover from the damage and loss by raising their price, transferring the burden to many customers. But non-profit cannot. We don't have customers. We want to urge you to have more understanding on non-profit. We non-profit people try our best to help beautify CNMI, cleaning up the beaches, to provide free education to local people, and to improve welfare of this community. We hope you can promote the non-profit groups not choking. Now, we are humbly asking you to amend the provisions like this. Number one, removal is needed penalty on non-profit organizations. Addition is needed for non-profit organizations of no business license. Many of us do not make a money-making business. We are just, many of us are just a group of people for volunteer activities. And submitting annual report should be optional. And this amendment shall be applied retroactively. Please take an action with this helping mind, please. Jesus Martian and all of mine, and thank you very much. We, U.S. citizen taxpayers and Shannon voters, 12 and more. Attached is petitioner's roster. You can check. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ha, and thank you for providing us with a copy of your testimony. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you again.
And now open the floor for discussion among the members. Let's move on to the next item on the agenda. The old business, HB 22-24 HD1, CNMI Secure and Fair Enforcement for Mortgage Licensing Act of 2020, or CNMI Safe Mortgage Licensing Act. Let's take a few minutes to examine this bill and share comments. Okay, Rep or Vice Chair Patrick San Nicolas texted me and said that he might not make it this morning. Okay, this is the lengthy bill that was introduced last time, or we went over last time. That's why it's a HD1. Uh, it was from the comments that we received. It needed legal review for it needed review from the council, and council late did review it. So, and he provided recommendations. Do you have the recommendations? Let's go over each and add our own, if any. Do you have? Yes. Oh, yes, Rep Kamatsu.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I have read the I have read this bill. I have read the bill, and it's really clear what it's requesting, or it's the requirements. I don't see really anything else that needs to be added to it other than the comments and all the other stuff that's been written on it. But otherwise, it's very clear and concise. Thank you.
Thank you, Rep Kamatsu. Anyone else? Yes, Rep Lizama.
I guess, thank you, Chairwoman. I guess this is a bill that will only authorize certified or licenses. And we have people that are just selling properties and homes without a license that they're not taxed for it. So it is a good bill as far as I'm concerned. And even the AG office agreed to it. They just want to change the word state from state to a commonwealth instead of using state. Thank you.
Thank you, Rep Lizama. Anyone else?
I've also read the, thank you, Chairwoman. I've also read the bill, and as Rep. Camacho stated, it is pretty clear and concise. However, I would like to hear the recommendations of our legal counsel, if possible. Thank you.
You. Thank you, Rep Selena. Go ahead, Council.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Along the lines of what Rep. Lozama was saying, a lot of my recommendations were just technical things like changing state to Commonwealth, because it derives from model legislation that was produced by Congress for use in U.S. states and territories and jurisdictions to implement federal law that was passed in the wake of the housing and financial crisis in 2007. And so a lot of the legislation as originally drafted was kind of primarily intended for a context in U.S. states. So most of my recommendations were just small changes to make it applicable to the CNMI.
Okay, thank you, Council. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Rep Selena Babauta. Thank you. Um, did you guys get a copy of the recommendations, or? Okay, sorry. I will send them to you. Um, so I would like to get a motion to table it, no? Table it so we can add those in and then get comments as well. Okay. Um, okay, has been seconded. Let's move on to the next item on the agenda. Oh, I'm sorry. Those in favor of tabling HB 22-24 HD1 for comments and to include the recommendations, please say aye. And those who oppose say nay. The ayes have it. Um, HB 22-24 HD1 has been tabled. Thank you. Now let's move on to the next item on the agenda, the new business. There are 4 items in this section: HB 22-78, HB 22-82, SB 22-19, and SB 22-57. Let's analyze each. Number 1, the first one, HB 22-78, is to clarify the powers of the CNMI Cannabis Commission and make needed changes to the Commonwealth Code to support adequate development of the cannabis industry in the Commonwealth. Let's take a few minutes to examine this bill and share comments, please. Mm, mm, sorry. Okay. Um, already? Okay. So, just a reminder, we do not have comments on this one yet. Well, all four items because the offices were closed last week. So, we're just going over these things to make corrections or something, right? Okay. Yes, Rep. Lizama?
I agree, Chairwoman, because some of them already had license, and we need to get to them to see how this changes amendment will affect them. but I do like the amendment. Thank you.
Rep Lizama, Rep Komatsu.
Chair, I agree. I've looked at the bill, and a lot of these changes or additions actually make sense. It clarifies what it's supposed to do. So with that, yeah, we could table it and have the changes done, and we'll go for it from there again. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Rep Komatsu. I just want to state that council here found that there's a missing word on page 3, line 10. After the word shall, there should be not, N-O-T. Yeah. So government entities shall not lease or use public lands for the purpose of establishing cannabis. And they want to also include on lands located in the Northern Islands. Okay. And then there's another uh, on page 4, line 17. Just a typo. Page 4, line 17. Oops. I'm sorry. I'm missing page 4. Hold on. Yep, I'm missing page 4. Anyways, on page 4, line 17, the after the word information, BY over there should be BE, right? Be it. Okay. So again, we're gonna may I get a motion to table HB 22-78? Yes, to make the um, changes and also for comments. It has been seconded. Discussion on the motion? Okay, so those in favor of tabling HB 22-78 pending comments and the changes say aye. Okay, the ayes, those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. HB 22-78 has been tabled. Okay, let's go to the next one. HB 22-82. To, to adopt the village delimitation and name master map for Saipan at the sole village delimitation as the sole village delimitation and name master map of Saipan, and to provide for the office of the mayor of Saipan to be the primary custodian for maintaining and preserving the master map, and for the Department of Commerce Central Statistics Division to be the secondary custodian, and for other purposes. Let's take a few minutes to examine this bill and share comments, please. Okay, that was a lengthy title for, yeah, to just let us know the names of the villages that will be written on stone, and you will see them on pages 6 and 7 from lines 18 on page 7, line 5. And then I heard from some people that there should be more names in Chamorro and Carolinian. So again, let's hold this off. Let's. I would like to. May I get a motion to table SB 22, oops, dash 82 until we get comments. Okay. Discussion on the motion. Those in favor of tabling HB 22-82 pending comments say aye. Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. HB 22-82 has been tabled. Okay, the next one on the list. SB 22-19 to require all gas service stations to provide to the public free compressed air, a gauge for measuring air pressure and water, and for other purposes. Let's take a few minutes to examine this bill and share comments, please.
Chair,
Mm.
I believe
Yes, Ms. Claire.
SB 22-19 was transmitted in the form of Senate Draft 1.
Okay. Senate Draft 1. Okay, do we have that? Do we have that or? Oh, this is different from this? Okay, sorry. So I was not aware of this, but there is a SD1 for this SB 22-19. So yes, we should table this as well so we can go over the SD1, Senate Draft 1. Okay, may I get a motion to table SB 22-19 until after we receive or we go over the SD1 and receive comments. Okay. Those in favor, discussion on the motion. Those in favor of tabling SB 22-19, pending comments and review of SD1, say aye. Those opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. SB 22-19 have been tabled. The next one, SB 22-57, to amend 4 CMC subsection 4205 to remove the daily penalty fees imposed on late filing of annual reports and for other purposes. If you will recall, during our last meeting, there were public comments made opposing the $5 daily rate for nonprofit organizations, and that was one of them was our um, Mr. Ha this earlier this morning. Um, the Senate complied by removing it. Then they came up with another one, increasing um, the late fee for annual reports and minutes for nonprofit corporations from $25 to $75. Let's take a few minutes to go over it. So on page 2, line 5, that's where the change was made. I would like us to, oh, may I get a motion to table SB 22-57 until after we've received comments? Okay, discussion on that motion? Those in favor of tabling SB 22-55 pending comments say aye. Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. SB 22-57 have been tabled. And that's it for our um, bills. Let's move to the next item on the agenda, announcement. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have miscellaneous. Oh, none. All right. Thank you, members. It is now 10:31. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Okay, oh, this is a motion to adjourn today's meeting. Discussion on that motion, or there is a motion. Discussion on that motion. Those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. Meeting adjourned.